Nothing major. All we ask is when we say hold on, guess what it means?
Hold on.
There you go. It's not that hard. It's not like Shakespeare. You don't have to find a hidden meaning to it or anything like that. When we say hold on, folks, it does mean hold on, okay? We also ask no jumping. It's pretty self-explanatory. As the boat goes, I'd say 12 feet up in the air and you jump 2 feet. Well, then the boat goes down 12 feet. You're still 2 feet in the air. That's 14 feet in the air. Sounds great till gravity takes over. Best case scenario, you fall on the deck, beat yourself up. Worst case scenario, you fall into the water next to the propellers and you turn yourself into fish food. Okay? So we ask you not to go jumping here today. As well, kind of like the swimming pool, if you start running, I might blow a whistle at you and say stop running, right? We ask you not to go running, guys, because basically if you're trying to time from one rail to the next rail, people always try and run, but it's like playoff hockey around here. You're not paying attention, you get checked from behind, right? The wave will check you from behind and you smack into the rail, and then you got summer teeth. Some of your teeth are in your mouth and some are on the deck. So we ask, take your time as you need to make your way around. Need any assistance, raise a hand. A crew member will come to help you along, okay? Because we have a bar on board, woohoo! We are now smoke-free. If I see you smoking, I'll just assume you're on fire and I will turn the fire hose on you. You mess around, you find out. I cannot tell you the adult version of that because there are kids on board. Speaking of kids, if there's any young kids here that are vertically challenged, guys, make sure the tourists don't block off their view, right? It's harder to see over a 6-foot tourist when you're about 4 foot tall, right? For the adults, we ask you not to lift your children up in the arms as we don't want any precious cargo going overboard. And people think that's funny, but I've literally seen people lift their kids and put them over the rail almost like Simba would with the Lion King. And I don't want to change my voice here and yell at you here today, right? As well, if anyone has any issues trying to understand me, if English is not their first language or Newfoundlandese, you guys say we talk fast, but you just really listen slow. But if you look on either side of the wheelhouse or downstairs as well, there is a barcode that you can scan, and you can have the tour in whatever language you need. As we talk into the microphone, it is able to translate to whatever you need. So I can speak Chinese, Japanese, Portuguese, Germanese, whatever you need, okay? Perfect. All right, yes, Germany's, yeah, that's a new one. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go into my wheelhouse there, try and show you everything that we have to offer, and the tour guides are gonna be with you in just a moment. We're gonna put on some music there and cast away. So are you all ready? Yeah. Here we go.
This is so fun. I'm so nervous. We're moving. Yeah. What a beautiful day.
Oh, it
This
is.
beautiful day for this.
Yeah. Way better than yesterday, that's for sure.
Where are you visiting from? Are you from here?
Toronto.
Oh, no, nice.
Yeah.
I drove out from Heatherton by Porta Pass.
Oh.
All the way on the other.
Where is that?
Far enough.
Yeah.
I drove out yesterday, went to Kings Point. That was a 4-hour drive, and then I drove the rest of the way here last night, and I got here at 12 o'clock this morning. And now I'm here. Now I'm driving back home after this.
Oh, wow. Great. You didn't see any moose?
I only seen one on the whole drive, you know?
Really?
Just one.
Wow.
And I was surprised.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard the Gaffer 6. How's everyone doing this morning?
Wicked.
The sun is shining. Look at that. What a treat for you guys here. I'm glad I turned on the fan this morning. Right? Blew all that away. Folks, we are sailing out of Bay Bulls Harbor. This is the first stop on the Irish Loop. And the Irish are known to be good at a few things, right? Us Newfoundlanders are known to be good at a few things. What are we known to be good at?
Drinking.
Testing you this morning. What'd you say?
Drinking.
Singing, that's right. Normally someone says drinking, right? But singing, that's the answer I'm looking for. So folks, how would you like to hear a song? Yeah, who's going singing? I know, it gets quiet then. Yes, I suppose I'll sing you a nice little song here. This one is about taking a break, getting out on the water, just enjoying the sun shining up ahead. So folks, it's written by a group of guys called Buddy, what's his name, and the other fellas. It's called Rock Yourself on the Ocean. So if I'm going to sing, I need you to give me a hand. I need you all to clap your hands, stomp your feet, make as much noise as you can, because the louder you all are, the better I'm going to sound, okay? It's as simple as that. So here we go. In the middle of the week, in the middle of the day, in the middle of the summer, in the middle of the bay, boots kicked off, feet out to dry, lying on the cuddy counting clouds in the sky. Throw her down, take a break, to hell with profits that you won't make. Take her slack, cause you deserve to rock yourself on the ocean. Dilly-dum-do. We work like devils from 9 to 5 so that we can have 8 wheels to drive. Fuse with color, plastic bread, waves in our ovens and water in our beds. Frantically driven to compete, pile her up, beg, borrow, cheap. No time to play or cross the bay or stop and smell the ocean. Dilly-dum-do. In the middle of the city with a rocket and a roar, caged like a rat on the 15th floor. Trying to make a living, putting paper in a pile. Hard to find someone with a genuine smile. Life was never meant to be lived in a box. We need a little freedom like the gull and the fox. Take a break whenever you can to stop and smell the ocean. Dilly-dum-do. In the middle of the week, in the middle of the day, in the middle of the summer, in the middle of the bay, boots kicked off, feet out to dry, lying on the cuddy counting clouds in the sky. Throw her down, take a break, to hell with profits that you won't make. Take your slack, cause you deserve to rock yourself on the ocean. Take your slack, cause you deserve to rock yourself on the ocean. Thank you, everybody. Well, we got some fine crew on here today. You guys are all awesome. I love that everyone's in a grand little mood. So folks, as we're sailing out of the harbor, it's time to introduce you to the crew. So the man who was just talking to you, the man at the helm, the guy in there, with the sunglasses on, time to meet your captain. Everyone say hello to Captain Luke.
Hello.
On board today we have Luke's twin brother. He sat down there counting his tickets. We have our first mate today. Everyone say hello to Nick.
Hello.
Those guys are in charge of all the safety and navigation here today, so we are in excellent hands. If we get sick and tired of Luke's jokes, we can toss him over the side and Nick will bring us on back in nice and safe and sound, okay? So folks, on board today we have 4 of Canada's best tour guides. Over to the left here of the wheelhouse we have the lovely Richard. Everyone say good morning to Richard.
Good morning.
Up on the bow we have the wonderful Ty. Everyone say hello to Ty.
Hi.
He's just on the stairs going to the bow. Down below, you may think you're seeing double. This is my little sister Jane. Everyone say hello to Jane.
Hi.
And then my name is Claire. I'm your other tour guide today. Good morning, everybody. Now it's C-L-A-I-R-E for any of the TripAdvisor or Google reviews later on, okay? Perfect. Alrighty, guys, so you're in excellent hands here today. We've done this pretty much ever since we could learn how to walk on board the boat. So any questions you have at all here today, feel free to ask away. We'll tell you anything we know. Whatever we don't know, we're just going to make it up, okay? We don't let the truth get in the way of a good story around here. So folks, a little bit about where we're heading out to today. So this is Bay Bulls Harbor. We're going to start to leave Bay Bulls and head around the corner, out around to the Witless Bay Ecological Reserve, which is home to 2.5 million seabirds. About 500,000 of those are puffins. So do I have anybody on board here today who has never ever seen a puffin before? Raise your hand.
Actually, yes,
Okay, Nick, put your hand down, bud. Okay, now those of you guys who have seen them, show me what's, sorry, if you haven't seen them, don't spoil it. But those of you who haven't, show me with the scale of your hands. How big do you think one is? Put them up now, let me see. I'm coming around to check, I'm coming
like
around.
your hands,
Keep
I
them up,
guess.
keep them up.
Like this. We'll see.
What about you guys on the bow? How big do you think a puffin is? Okay, not too bad. A lot of you guys have at least doubled them. So puffins are only 6 to 8 inches tall.
You're measuring
so tiny
penguins.
little seabirds, right? People often think that they're a lot larger than they are. And I always like to say Newfoundland tourism, we tell a few fibs, right? We like to zoom right in on the puffins. You gotta use a good zoom lens. Make them out to be about the size, right? And you're not doing too bad here today because they did have a lady on yesterday who thought she was coming out here to see puffins as big as me, a bunch of penguins, but they are only 6 to 8 inches. Now you'll start to see lots of them on the surface of the water as we make our way out of the harbor. The puffins, they come here during the summertime only, so from about May until September. The main reason for that is to lay an egg. Other than that, these puffins are pelagic, meaning that they're seabirds. They spend 8 months of every year floating on the North Atlantic Ocean, out in the cold water. Now, we'll tell you lots more about the puffins once we get on out to the island, but keep an eye out for those little black and white birds with the orange bill and the orange feet. They get that orange color for the breeding season. In the wintertime, when they're out at sea, they'll have a black bill and black feet. So they get all dolled up, just like those you're going down to George Street, right? Looking for a mate. But we'll tell you lots more about the puffins once we get on out there, and all the other seabirds there today as well. But folks, we're not just looking for seabirds today. What else are we looking for?
Whales.
Whales. Does anyone know what you say if you think you see a whale? You don't say whale, that's too easy. You gotta say, there she blows, okay? Let's practice that on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. So in Newfoundland and Labrador, we see 22 different species of whales. The 3 most common we see in our area this time of year are fin whales, the 2nd largest whale in the world. We see minke whales that are about 30 to 35 feet in length. And then we also get humpbacks here. So what we're looking for today is either a blackback, a black dorsal fin, or a big balloon-like mist of spray, maybe even a splash. If you think you see anything, let one of us know, okay? Anywhere we're traveling today is where we could see a whale. They could be between us and the rocks, quite literally scratching their bellies on the coastline, making their way looking for food. Or we've left the dock and gone further in the bay looking for it. So anywhere we're traveling today, folks, is where we could see one. So keep an eye out. We'll offer up a shot of rum. Traditional Newfoundland rum called Screech, which is made in Jamaica, man. That's a story for later. But for the first person who can beat a crew member to spot the very first whale, there's a shot of rum on the line, guys. So keep on looking. We're going to head on out the harbor here now, folks. Sea conditions today are fairly well and calm. However, as you make your way around the headland, it will pick up a little bit. So if you're standing, make sure you're holding on to a rail. When we say hold on, it doesn't mean to your cup of coffee, or to your phone, or to your partner, okay? You're going to find out they don't love you as much as they say they do. Hold on to a rail as we're making our way around. And myself, Ty, Richard, and Jane are always here to give you guys a hand. So just let us know if you need anything. But sit back, relax, and enjoy your ride on the tropical island of Newfoundland.
They're so cute. Damn, she's fully loaded over
Alright
there.
guys, I need you to do me a favor. On the count of 3, I need you to wave and make a bit of noise. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Good morning. Oh, there she goes.
Those folks. Yeah, clear, you bet me too.
Crumbs off the line.
I saw it before we even got, I saw it through the rocks.
Right on. So folks, at 12 o'clock, we do have a humpback whale.
No
Now,
way.
in a moment here, we're going to make our way up. We got a bit of distance to go. But what you're looking for is that balloon-like mist of spray, and then a black back and black dorsal fin once we get a little bit closer. But folks, big piece of advice for everybody here today. Make sure that you're holding on to the rail while we're whale watching, and it's better to pick one spot along the rail and stay there. Much easier for us to move the boat than for you guys to go from one side to the other, okay? So here we go, we're gonna make our way up there. Again, you're looking pretty much dead ahead, maybe a little more towards 11 o'clock, for a balloon like this is spray. It only lasts a second.
And I swear, out there on the ocean, you didn't want to be found. We were rocking on the water, making things a little harder back in the morning. We were rocking on the water, feeling fancy and free. We're living nice and easy, and that sounds a little cheesy, but it's alright for me. And I swear, out there on the ocean, we didn't want to be found. We were rocking on the water, making things a little harder back in Newfoundland. When we were rocking on the water, making things a little harder back in Newfoundland. The night that Paddy Murphy died is a night I'll never forget. Some of the boys got blown and drunk and some ain't sober yet. As long as the bottle was passed around, every man was feeling free. Oh, Larry came with his back running for some things and more to play. This is the slam the corner, pouring out the cream. While Billy and his friends, those dirty rotten players, they crept into the ant room and a bottle of whiskey square. They placed the bottle on the horse to keep the liquor cold. That's how they showed their respect.
They're so funny. Wow. Beautiful.
Everything the going house to night had Murphy died. Oh, at 3 o'clock in the morning, some pretty blue-eyed stamp rode upon the coffin lid, therein lies a tramp. They stopped the clock so Mrs. Murphy couldn't tell the time. And at 3:15, they argued it was 9. Oh, the whole man who got married, they didn't give a prayer. And Mrs. Murphy said she'd wait till the whole damn gang was there. And all of the sights I've ever seen, it made me shiver with fear. When they took the ice rain off the doors, laid it on the beer. Oh, that's how they showed their respect for Paddy Murphy. That's how they showed their honor and their pride. They said it was a sin and a shame and they could pick one another. Everything the going house ran the night had Murphy died.
Alrighty, everybody, so we're making our way up here to the vicinity of this whale. So what we're looking at here is a humpback whale. That being in the baleen family of whales. So there are two types of whales. There are toothed whales, like your orcas, your dolphins, your sperm whales, and then there's these baleen whales. So your humpback whales, blue whales, minke whales, finback whales. And of course, for anybody who isn't sure what baleen is, it's a hair-like fiber. It hangs from their top jaw in several hundred plates. Now folks, as we're whale watching here, we're going to be using points on the clock as well as some nautical terms to tell you guys where the whale is popping up to, or is popped up. So, little rundown here, little crash course. We're going to do the clock and nautical terms all in one go. So, right off the bow, that being the front of the boat, that would in fact be 12 o'clock. Off the stern would be the back of the boat, and that would be 6 o'clock. 3 o'clock will be just off of our starboard side, the right-hand side of the boat, and 9 o'clock just off the port-hand side, that being the left-hand side of the boat. Alright guys, you got the nautical terms down. Hopefully you got the clock down by now, alright? So we're here looking at about 12 o'clock is where I believe it might pop up again. Now he did urge us back a little bit more that time when he just went down. Kind of seemed like he went on a terminal dive. Of course he didn't show that tail though, and that tail would be a sign that he would be gone on that terminal dive. That just means that he's gone down a little bit deeper for a little bit longer. Now these guys are up in our cold waters right now, feeding. Just at about 11 o'clock. Oh, there we go. Just surfaced. So of course again, these guys are up here in our cold waters during the summertime to feed. Now during the winter time, they're still not, they don't stay up here. There we go again at 11 o'clock, just off our port side here. So for anybody downstairs, we're going to be taking it on the port side here first, I believe. But we are going to be maneuvering the boat. We can turn the boat 360 degrees. So all you guys are getting good luck. It is best to pick a spot on the rail and stay there. It's my pro tip. Trust me, it works. Because the time that it takes you to get to the port side will be over on the starboard side then. And Ty's saying here, if there's any kids on board, smaller kids who can't see, you can have the kids sit down on the stairs and the parents sit right behind them on their left, just to give you guys a little bit of a better look here. Now, as I was saying, these guys are up here in our cold waters to feed in this time of year, but during the winter time, they actually head down south. So they'll head down to a place called the Silver Banks, which is just off the Dominican Republic. And that, of course, is when they'll do all their breeding. So if they were to do the breeding up in our cold waters, the calf, when it is born, it would simply not survive. Our waters are just that cold. Now again, they're making that, there we go, just about 1 o'clock, 1:30.
No way.
Your best to hold on, everybody. We'll do our best to turn the boat. And it's a lot easier to turn the boat than to have all you guys moving back and forth.
There he is. Beautiful.
Just there about 1:30. So again, they're going down south during the winter time to do all that breeding. Down in the Silver Banks. So obviously that will involve a male and a female whale having a little bit of contact. Here we go. So what will usually happen there is the male whales will sing a song. Now it is the same song each and every time. They're trying to attract a female. But it sounds a little bit different every time they sing. Now of course once they attract a female, it is a PG boat, so I'm going to keep it nice and PG here. But they'll have a short interaction we call poke and go. Obviously that will leave that female whale impregnated. And she'll hold the calf for about 11 months. And that calf will be born and weigh in at about 1 ton.
Oh my God.
Imagine a 1 ton baby, ladies.
Yeah.
No thanks, right?
No.
I'll pass.
Yeah, that's right. So that calf will stay with the cow, the mother, for the first year or so of its life. They'll make their way up to our cold waters to feed. And they're feeding on a small smelt-like fish. It's called capelin. So that capelin rolls spawns on our bays and beaches here along the coast. And that's what the whales feed on. The birds feed on it, other marine life feed on it, even humans feed on it as well. So that capelin has recently rolled and spawned over in Witless Bay, so the next community south of Bay Wolves. So these guys are coming up here to feed on all that capelin. They'll feed on about 1 ton a day.
Wow.
Now they'll fill up their bellies during the summertime here in our waters, and they'll build up about 5 feet of blubber. Then they'll head back down south, and again, that's where they're doing their breeding. Now while they're down there we go, just at about 10:30. Just gonna make our way up there.
Oh, I'm good.
Oh, look. Do a jump.
So I did mention how these guys are baleen whales. So of course baleen is that hair-like fiber, as I mentioned. Now they'll actually use that to filter feed. So not like toothed whales, they won't bite down on their prey. What they'll actually do is they're gonna try and scare the bait fish into one tight ball, and they have several different techniques they do to try and get that bait fish into a tight ball. Eventually what they'll do is they'll open up their mouth, open it up to about a 90-degree angle, they'll close it on all of that bait fish, then they'll use their very, very large tongue to spurt out all of that salt water, leaving just that bait fish in their mouth, and then they'll take one big gulp. Now, if any of you folks are ever worried about being swallowed by a whale, you don't gotta worry about that. See, these guys have a throat about the size of a grapefruit. So if any of you folks have ever seen Pinocchio, that story, the fairy tale, you know that that's probably impossible, right? Unless Pinocchio was about the size of your fist. So you know what? Oh my goodness, you guys don't have anything to worry about here.
Beautiful.
Now, as I was saying earlier, those guys are going down south. While they're down there, they're actually not eating much of the food down there. See, all that fish, yes, it's colorful, looks good, but it doesn't taste all that good. And there's not that abundance of fish as there are in other waters. There we go, just at about 10 o'clock here, everybody. So again, just off of our port side, for anybody downstairs on the left-hand side, the port side of the boat, just look at your windows.
Oh, see how the water's going?
You can kind of see that smooth, oily patch. Everybody kind of see that there in the water? Here we go, just to get in there. You can see the turquoise color under the water as well. So I'll talk about the turquoise color first. So those are the whale's pectoral fins. So they're white in color, but under the surface of the water, they do appear to look turquoise. You can see it when he's closer to the surface of the water. That's how we kind of follow the whale and see where he's coming up next. It's a little bit easier to see as well if you do have polarized sunglasses. Now, I was mentioning about that smooth, oily patch on the surface of the water. So that's what we call the whale's footprint. So obviously these whales don't have feet. They do have that very large tail. That tail weighing at about 1 ton. Beautiful, just at about 9 o'clock here, everybody. You can see the turquoise under the water as well. Everybody kind of see that? Now about that footprint. So that footprint is actually caused by the disturbance under the water, that whale's tail. That whale's tail is very, very strong. So about 3 flicks of it, it can propel himself clear out of the water, and it's actually called a breach. Who wants to see that happen? Who wants to see the whale jump?
Me?
Oh, who wants to see the whale jump?
Yes,
100
call
bucks a
them
head.
up and tell them.
It was 50 last year, but you know, inflation. As much as I wish I could press a button and these whales can clear out of the water, right? It's impossible. I've sat on the button the other day and broke it. No, I'm just talking, guys. What you guys are getting here is a true natural experience. Nothing like you get at SeaWorld, right? As you can tell, we're just kind of bobbing up and down here. We're just trying to turn the boat as well. Now again, I was talking about that tail earlier. So just 3 flicks of it, it can propel itself clear out of the water. 1 flick of that tail can actually break an orca's back.
Wow.
See, that tail is the strongest muscle in the animal kingdom, pound for pound. Again, weighs in at about 1 ton. So pretty incredible. Now we're going to try and take it over here on the starboard side, so the right-hand side of the boat. So for all of you folks who are very patient on the right side of the boat, starboard side, it's your guys' turn here now. Here we go.
Wow.
Just about 2:30 here, everybody.
Beautiful.
Now those footprints, so again, that's not where the whale is, it's where it last surfaced, right? You'd actually get the same result if you were to tie your feet together in the bathtub, flick them up and down. You'd also get that smooth, oily patch on the surface. Now, as you folks know, here in Newfoundland, we get quite a lot of fog. So with all that fog rolling in, and it obviously impacts our visibility here, it makes it a little bit harder to whale watch. Not necessarily to whale watch, but to find these whales. So we're always looking for those footprints on the water. And we're obviously looking for the turquoise and the rolling black back, the tail, whatever we can see. But we're also using some of our other senses. So we'll use our nose, believe it or not. And these guys are eating about 1 ton of capelin a day. Sometimes they gotta let a little bit out, right? We're also listening. So I'll give you guys a chance now to listen into that beautiful blow. If you guys heard it that time and you saw that water spray up in the air, none of that is actually coming from inside the whale. He is a mammal, so he does breathe air, not water. So all that water is just on the surface of their blowholes. Yes, blowholes. He use dual exhaust, as most baleen whales are, versus those toothed whales, they'll just have one blowhole. Now I am gonna gonna turn off the mic, let you guys just listen in. But we're looking here at about 1 to 2 o'clock, alright? Just about 3 o'clock there, guys. At about 2 shallow tail. Now again, guys, as much as you guys do want to see that tail, again, it is bittersweet. That would mean he would be gone on a terminal dive. But if you were to see that underside of that whale's tail, that fluke, you would notice that there's a white pattern. A white and black pattern, I should say. So that is almost like their fingerprint. So that pattern is unique to each and every humpback whale. We've actually partnered with a database called Happy Whale, and there's also the provincial site as well, which would be Hello Humpback. You guys can actually upload a picture of the underside of that whale's fluke if you were to get it, and then it would feed you back some information about that whale. So where it's last been, maybe the gender, and the name if it hasn't been named already. And folks, as we've been doing this for a couple of years, we've noticed some whales ourselves that we're able to identify. And whether that's because of the underside of the fluke, sometimes we'll notice a pattern. But we've been looking at another whale the past couple of days we called Orangey, just because he has some barnacles and stuff on the upper side of his mouth. And sometimes we'll be able to identify them based off of some scratches on their backs as well as their tails. And those scratches would be from those predators. Can anybody take a guess on what one of the predators would be to these humpback whales? The main predator. I think I heard it somewhere. The orca whales, also known as killer whales. So up in our waters, we get transient pods of orcas. We don't get any residential pods. We actually saw them yesterday. And they were moving quite fast. Just hold on there, everybody. They were moving quite fast. They're on the lookout for something to snack on. And that snack, there we go, just at about 6 o'clock here, or 9 o'clock, everybody. Of course, that snack is very large, and that being those humpback whales. And those humpback whales are a bit larger than the orcas, but the orcas have a little bit more of an advantage as they hunt in pods. As most toothed whales they'll travel in pods, versus baleen whales are more solo. They're more solo travelers. And of course, when it comes to hunting a humpback whale, it is quite tricky. Those orcas, what they'll actually do is they'll travel behind the humpbacks and try to drown it. Obviously, these guys have to breathe, as I mentioned earlier. Those orcas will try to keep them under the surface of the water and tire them out. Eventually, it'll be a whale sacrifice. Quite a sad story, but again, this is a true natural experience. I'm gonna hop off the mic again and let you guys just enjoy the rest of this before we gotta go see those beautiful birds. And if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to ask. Any of us crew members on board here today, we're all pretty knowledgeable about these whales. We'll be happy to answer any questions you guys have. Again, just at 9 o'clock, everybody can follow the turquoise patch under the water.
Folks, sorry to break the silence, but if anyone noticed, you can see some Caitlin actually jumping off the water there as he came up the surface that time.
No way.
You notice he slowed right down. And if you see any silver things jumping out of the water that time, that is Caitlin. That's what he's feeding on there.
And folks, as you can see, he's doing circles here. So what he's trying to do is trying to scare that bait fish into a tight ball, as I mentioned. And with his white pectoral fins, that does scare that Caitlin. So by him going in circles, that will scare it into that tight ball. Sometimes they'll even blow bubbles and they'll go in circles as well. It does the same thing. Sometimes they'll even push all that food up onto the rocks, really close by the bay. That's another way that they can get their food. Pretty incredible. Looking now, just at about 12 o'clock for everybody.
At 1 o'clock, they're coming to the surface. You can tell.
Wow.
Alright everybody, we're just having our last look. We're gonna go see those puffins here now. We gotta give them some puffin lovin'. Now we're just gonna make our way over to the island. You can see it just ahead of us here now. And when we get there, one of us will tell you all about those beautiful seabirds. But as we leave this whale, you never know what he might do. He is feeding, but for now, good job. Everybody say bye to Mr. Whale.
See ya, buddy.
northern gannet. You see the gold head.
Yeah.
Also blue bill as well. Beautiful birds. The head of each well. Oh, folks, it looks like we have some dolphins here at let's see, 11 o'clock.
No.
And we're going to see what they see. There's white splashes here. If you follow all these northern gannets that are around, typically there's normally some dolphins here. So we do have some dolphins. We're going to slow in here now shortly. You can see the white splashes ahead of us here. Seems to be 2 or 3 pairs of or pods here. And more than likely they will be white-beaked or white-sided dolphins. Has anyone seen the white splashes? There you go. I see some people pointing them out here.
Oh, yeah.
Those would be the dolphins. A lot of people think it's too cold for us to have dolphins here. However, due to our cold waters and the high nutrient capelin and other types of fish species, we do get up to normally around 3 species. We get Atlantic white-sided dolphin, which you can see in pods and super pods of 200 and 300. We have white-beaked, which are normally around 15 feet or so. And then everyone's favorite, and a lot of people don't realize, what orcas. Orcas are the largest species of dolphin. So come right towards me. We're going to slow in and see. Now, we'll just see if they want to, they probably might be interested in fishing. However, sometimes they'll come right over to the boat if they're super curious. Just have a quick little look. For anyone on the bow, I would suggest having a look down. You might be lucky enough to see these guys come right on over. We're just going to kind of slow right in here now and just kind of stop here and see what they want to do. Oh, jump.
Wow.
Lovely. Now, these are not orcas. I did say that we do get them here. There's only about 150 here. But these are either white-sided or white-beaked dolphins. I'll try and get you a good look. We're looking to see on the dorsal fin. Now, the dorsal fin is the fin on the center of the dolphin's back. You can see that sharp hook? That's its dorsal fin. If there is any yellow on the right side, which I do not see, well, that would indicate white-beaked dolphins here. So we have white-beaked right here in front of us. And I would say about a pod of about 15 or so. Look at that. Oh. Like I said, we'll see. Oh, that is cool. They're kind of coming right up. Jumping, everything. It's just like marine land here now. Here's a wonderful place in Ontario. Someone remembers the tune. Oh my goodness. One's on the port side, hopefully some on the starboard side. Look down in the water, folks. You might see them, especially on a nice calm day like today. A lot of dolphins like to hang out with the boats as we kind of make our way towards the island, but we'll stop and just have a look here, see what they do.
There they are. Oh my gosh, they're beautiful.
And perfect. We have
They're
dolphins
fast.
on our starboard side and dolphins on our port side. Surrounded. Now, dolphins typically surround their prey. So, no one ever questions why the boat is called the Gaffer 6. Anyways, guys, we're going to just mosey our way over to the island there. They might get curious there sometimes, but it looks like they're feeding here. We noticed there because there's a pile of gannets. If anyone's wondering, there's a lot of birds here today with golden heads. They are northern gannets, and they breed off Cape St. Mary's, but they will work a lot with pods of dolphins. As the dolphins will gather the bait up to the surface, the gannets will dive into the air, and it's quite spectacular to see. They will hit the water at speeds of 60 to 70 kilometers an hour almost. And it is truly spectacular to see when you see a pile of gannets diving into the water. Anyways, we're going to mosey on towards the island here now, let them do their thing. And who knows, they might get curious and kind of sometimes they'll kind of just ride the bow as they get a little push from the boat sometimes. They're very fast and they kind of like the boats a lot of the time. They'll just kind of use it as like a play toy, so it's very awesome to see sometimes. we'll just see what they do there. And maybe it looks like they're going to be interested here now. But it looks like one is right here by the bow. More hanging about. A couple out there, as Richard mentioned. So we'll just kind of keep the music off, and you can hear them as they come alongside there. They're breaking and stuff. So enjoy the dolphins.
See now, they might come over. They're kind of just following. Keep our distance. They're going to come over. Look at that.
Wow.
Nice little jump.
Evening. This is Call Island, folks. So everyone getting their cameras out, taking pictures and videos. Beautiful around here. As Claire mentioned, Gull Island is one of 4 islands in the Witness Bay Ecological Reserve and holds about 1.5 million seabirds.
Wow.
Of those 1.5 million seabirds, rest about 360,000 Atlantic puffins here on Gull Island alone.
Wow.
All of the holes in the grass face, as you look around, every individual hole on the grass face is the entrance to a puffin burrow. Puffins are burrowing birds. There's a couple other different species of birds on this island as well that you might think are puffins. On the rock faces as we go around the island, you'll notice large colonies of black and white birds that are a little bit taller stature than puffins. Those would be common murres. Any Newfoundlanders on board will know them as a tur. They're just a little bit farther down the island, but just want to let you know before we get down there and people think we're looking at puffins. Puffins will be on the grass, they'll be on the water, they'll be in the air. The murres will be on the air and the water, but also on the rock faces rather than the grass. So every little white dot you're seeing up on the grass there now will be puffin chests. They're stood in front of the burrow waiting for their mate to get back.
Aww.
If you did get a really good picture of that cove there, folks, beautiful picture of a cove. Lots of greens and oranges and browns. Very natural colors in there.
Oh my gosh.
This is Gull Island, as I said. This is the largest puffin colony in North America, second in the world. I went to the Western Islands off the coast of Iceland, but they eat puffins, so we don't talk about it. Puffins, they come to this island in the early parts of May to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to reproduce. Puffins lay 1 egg per year.
Wow.
Both male and female will incubate the egg. The egg takes about 6 weeks to hatch. Once that egg hatches, that's when the real work begins. The puffins will try to time the hatching of their egg with the arrival of the capelin, the same bait fish that the whales are eating. If they line up properly, when that egg hatches, there is abundance of food for their chick and for themselves very close to shore. So as the weeks go by, the parents will fatten that chick up. Unlike most species of bird, puffins do not regurgitate food to their young. They'll actually bring home full whole capelin to their chick. At the start of the season, when that chick is just a little down ball of feathers, it'll feed it small pieces of capelin. It'll break the capelin into small pieces, feeding it pieces at a time. As the summer progresses, bigger and bigger pieces till the end of the season, when that puffling is eating a full piece of capelin, or full capelin. Those gulls are quite noisy. Those small seagulls you see in the rock crevices will be a species of bird called the black-legged kittiwake. I'll tell you a little bit more about those at the end of the island. They're just another bird out here. But as the summer progresses, the parents are fattening that chicken up day after day, until at some point at the end of the season, the capelin have made their way back out to the Grand Bank, back offshore, and that journey for food is just simply too far for the parents. So sometime in late August, early September, both puffin parents will abandon their chicken in the back of the burrow. Over the next couple of days, that chicken will know that Uber Eats is not coming back for it. Instinctually, it will know that it must leave the island. It must go find food for itself. It's a great question. What's the lifespan of a puffin? About 20 years. So not quite long for such a small little bird. But they go out to open sea at the end of August, early September. As I said, that puffling will fledge by itself. It'll make its way down to the water in the cover of darkness, because it feels a little safer at night. Using the light of the moon, it'll follow its way out to the open sea. And once it gets out to the open ocean, it will spend the first 4.5 years of its life out there. not touching land, not seeing land for 4.5 years. And then for the first time in its life, it'll get its orange bill. And it'll know instinctually to return home. It'll return back to the same island it was hatched on. It'll even try to return back to the same burrow it was hatched in. And more than likely, its parents will be there, so it'll find a new burrow. It'll also find a mate. The mate that Puffin chooses in its first year of returning will be its mate for life.
Sorry to interrupt you. There's 3 black guillemots just behind, just here on our starboard side.
Wondering for any bird nerds? There's a few, like myself, there's a few black guillemots. Very, very cool species of bird. Related to puffins, they have a white patch on their upper parts of their wing. Kind of looks like a strobe light as they fly. And they have red feet. And the inside of their mouth is a ruby red color as well. Very, very cool species of bird. That's Mike's favorite. And as I said, that puffin will return back. They'll pick a mate. The mate that it chooses, as I said, will be its mate for life. The pair will go up onto the grassy banks, picking a burrow. Dig out a burrow with their feet. They'll do this little act called billings, where they interlock their bills together. They'll roll down over the grassy banks, tumbling down over the banks, down into the water. And when they hit the water, that's where the puffin magic happens. And the puffin magic only lasts about 10 seconds. As I said a few minutes ago, puffins live on average about 20 years of age, about 4 years of maturity. There's about 16 years of breeding, and about 10 seconds a year. There's only about 160 seconds of puffin in a puffin's whole lifetime.
Wow.
They're doing better than some. And this is that colony of common birds I was speaking about a few minutes ago. There isn't even a larger colony down ahead. Those are the common birds. They're not puffins, and they're certainly not penguins. I don't want to hear anyone saying they seen a penguin today. Penguins are only in the southern hemisphere. They do look a lot like penguins. They're on great dogfish, just like penguins. But they are common birds, as I said. M-U-R-R-E-S. In Newfoundland, you know them as turrs, T-U-R-R. No D, just R-R. I'll tell you a little bit more about those as we make our way down. As you can tell, they get their name murr from the murmuring noise that they make. You couldn't hear before, but the puffins are pretty much noiseless. These ones, they make quite the racket. As you're looking around though, try to isolate a singular bird flying overhead. A lot of times they'll do circles around before they land, and they get just a couple feet away from the boat without you even noticing it. Look around. As well, if you see puffins coming towards the island, you might see them with some capelin in their bill. That bait fish that they're catching, they can hold up to a dozen capelin in their bill at a time. It's due to the spines that are around the bill that allows them to latch onto that fish. But every single year, puffins will return back to this island in the early parts of May. Now, I said earlier that puffins abandon their chick at the end of the season. They do abandon their chick. They do go back to open sea, because puffins only spend about 4 months of the year on land. But when they go back out to open sea, they go by themselves. They don't go with their mates. They're only with their mate for the breeding season. Now, that sounds like a pretty great gig to me. 4 months with the wife, 8 months without. Quiet life. I'd say he's still got his hearing. Really, really sunny day today, so it seems that lots of puffins are out fishing, few puffins on the water, lots in the air, kind of scattered around here today. Sometimes they come out on foggy days, there's not a whole lot out here, not a whole lot in the air, a lot of them are on the land because they can't see as well. But days like this, they're hard at work. Getting fish for their young. It's only in about 2.5 months' time that chick will go from about a quarter the size of its parents to the same size as its parents at the end of the season. Now, when puffins, when they go out to open sea, they actually lose that orange bill. Their bill turns a nearly black color, same as their feet. So if you've seen a puffin on the North Atlantic in the middle of December, you probably wouldn't even recognize it. Yeah. Anyone sees those black kittiwakes I was mentioning a few minutes ago up in the rock crevices, they do have some chicks. Little tiny gray. Little fluffs. Oh. Yeah, there's a razor-billed ox just as well, just off the port-hand side, about a beam of us here. Just stood up on a bit of grass there. Anyone's looking for some razor-bills, do tell us. We'll Be sure to point them out, looking for any bird species at all. We'd love to show you. Be a little more correct than us here in Newfoundland. Here in Newfoundland, we kind of tell it how it is. We call them piss poor flyers. What they lack in their ability to fly, they certainly make up for in their ability to dive. Puffins are incredible at diving. At times, when necessary, puffins can dive to depths of up over 60 meters below the surface of the water. It's about 180 feet. And reach speeds of swimming up to about 16 to 17 kilometers an hour. Now, in comparison, Michael Phelps can swim about 9 kilometers an hour. So nearly double the speed of Michael Phelps, these little puffins can swim beneath the surface, flapping their wings a couple hundred times a minute below the surface of the water. They zip through the water. Now, if you thought that was impressive, that's just about nothing compared to these common murres that you're seeing up here on the rock face. Common murres are some of the deepest diving flighted seabirds on the planet, with recorded depths of up to 200 meters below the surface.
Wow.
Or 700 feet. These birds are incredible at diving. A very streamlined body. As I said, they flap their wings very vigorously below the surface. And their lungs are made for the incredible depths that they'll go. If you don't got any questions on what that green building is just back a bit farther, that is the research. As we come along, these are the black-legged kittiwakes, these small seagulls you see perched up on the rock face. And these are arguably the most important bird out here on Gull Island, because it acts as a defense system. These gulls will actually fend away large bald eagles away from this island, as well as those greater black-backed gulls. 20, 30 at a time will chase the bald eagles away from the island, picking at their tail feathers, just driving them away. I don't think they're trying to protect any other birds but themselves, but in return they do help out a number of other bird species around the island and protect them from their chicks. But if you look really closely, you'll see a bunch of chicks in along the rock crevices. Very small gray gull. Have a look. As I said, puffins are known as this. These common murres are certainly not. Estimated about 50 to 75,000 common murres just on this colony alone here. Look at that. Common murres are actually one of the only species of birds to nest this close to each other. Breeding pairs, quite literally touching breeding pairs. Their egg is actually a pear shape that allows it to not fall off that rock face, to lay their egg right down on the rocks there. Stick it down with a little bit of guano. That's what you're smelling there. Let's stop it up.
Alrighty, folks. So we're going to be starting our little Newfoundland screeching here now. So I'm going to be looking for 10 people. I'm looking for Vernon Kelly, Abby Allen, Nathan Allen, Tracy Kelly, Stacy Budge, Bob Budge, Brittany Penny, Ryan Penny, Nancy Thompson, Sabrina Kramer, Brian Thompson, and Marge Creamer. Folks, if you hear your name called, we're going to get you up on the top deck and we're going to do our Newfoundland screeching.
Oh, wow.
We're going to give you guys hats to put on. So this is a Newfoundland sou'wester. So you simply got to put your hat on and fold up the brim. Now I know you're wondering why I'm asking you to fold up the brim. That's because our forefathers, they were fishermen out on the open North Atlantic. And when you work on the water, you typically work in rain or you get some water coming up on the boat every now and then. So instead of the rain coming down on your face, the rain would catch here on this brim and run down the back of your jacket, keeping your face dry. Pretty smart. They're very stylish, but they're also very useful, okay? So these are sou'westers. Now everyone got their hats? Perfect, we're going to get started. So folks, do you know what you sign yourself up for, or did someone else sign you up? Someone else signed you up? Well, buddy, guess what? So, the question is you a screecher? All you got to say back to me is, Indeed it is me o'clock and long big jib draw. Like I said, listening slow. I'm joking, folks. We'll take it 50-50 and we'll try it all together. So nice and loud and proud. There's a lot of this, so you got to be loud and proud. You're going to say, I is me old cock. Boys, we can do better than that. Come on. Indeed I is me old cock. There we go. And long may your big jib draw. There we go. That wasn't too bad. Okay, we're going to try it all together. So the final test is going to be, indeed I is me old cock, and long may your big jib draw. Is you a screecher? Indeed. I can't let you pass with that. You got to do it again. So, it is, indeed I is me old cock, and long may your big jib draw. Is you a screecher? Indeed. Oh, listen here, folks. Here in Newfoundland, they say D's get degrees. I think you got a 52. I'll give it to you, okay? That's how half of us got through high school. Why shouldn't you? You passed the hardest part, okay? Give yourself a round of applause. You passed the hardest part. That was a bit of fun, wasn't it? It wasn't too bad, just a bit of fun. Next part, not so much fun. We're going to get you all to remove your left shoe and sock. See, our forefathers, they were fishermen. And like I said, what happens when you work on the water? You sometimes get your feet wet, obviously. So you simply just got to get your feet wet. I got a nice cold bucket from over the side of the boat from Gull Island. And all you got to simply do is put your foot in the bucket. That's very cold. So we're going to get you to put your foot in the bucket, all right? Now. The foot to put in the bucket yet. You got to put the right foot, shoe, sock, and all in. You don't say we're out there bare feet, and I'll do it too. Come on. Just dip it in a little bit. Just a tip. Eric, your turn. You going to show them up? There we go. All right, and then we're going to show them up. Put their feet right down. Let's go first. There we go. Come on, right to the bottom. You got one so far. There we go. That's better. Now, anyone else going to put it to the bottom? Come on. Let's go first. There we go. Keep her going. Go this way first. All right. Your turn. Come on, you got waterproof on, so come on. There we go. You're putting it out and go in the bucket. Don't cheat. You got sandals on, bye. How about you guys? Come on. Right foot, shoe, sock, and all. There we go. Your turn. And last but not least. There we go. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Now you're all walking like a Newfoundlander. You can put your shoe and sock back on now. I'll give you all a second to do that. So, up next is traditionally where we would get fish. But I've been working all day today, and I only just got back into town yesterday. I was out around the bay. So I never got the chance to get you a codfish. I'm sure you're all pretty sad you're not kissing a codfish. But I got something else for you to kiss, okay? I promise. Alright? You said you would kiss him. You did. I bought you a bear and everything. You did. Oh, you liar. I guess I gotta find something else for you to kiss. What do I have? Oh, I know. I got an idea. See, while we were at the island, I reached out. She's feisty today. And I caught Polly. All you gotta do is kiss Polly, okay? Now there's a few rules. First off, she's a Newfoundland bird, not a French bird, so no tongue. You gotta close your eyes, pucker up, and kiss Polly. She's a weird bird and she likes it on the arse. Okay? I'll start with you again. No tongue. You gotta close your eyes, lean in and kiss Polly. Come on. Come on. She's far away. Lean in, lean in, lean in, lean in. I'm sorry, buddy. I forgot something. See, if you were listening to the commentary, does anyone know what kind of bird a puffin is? Starts with an S. Seabird. Right. So obviously forgetting something. She has a wet and salty arse. Lean in. Come on. I don't want to get you wet. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Come on, my dear. 1. Come on. He's going to get a picture. 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. My tree friends over here. Come on. Lean in. 1. Did you get a picture? You got a picture? 1, 2, 3. Now come on, my dear. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So, up next is everyone's favorite part, drinking like a Newfoundlander. Alec, who would you be? No, there we go. 2 non-alcoholic. You have purity syrup, so don't drink your shots yet. The rest of you all have Newfoundland screech that comes from Jamaica Mountain. Us Newfoundlanders used to train our salted codfish down in Jamaica for their rum. Towards the end of our cod season, our codfish started to get very bottom, and bottom of the barrel rotten codfish. Figured we would trip to Jamaicans. Tell them it was the best codfish they ever had. When I think we get the best rum. Well, Jamaicans are a lot smarter than us. They told us it was the best rum when it was also their worst. Got the next screech from an American sailor. He tried this with the guys downtown and let out a dirty old screech. So on the count of 3, all you got to do, clink your glasses together with your neighbors. We're going to count you down. You got to drink your shot and let out your dirty old screech. So ready? We're going to count you down. 3, 2, 1. Down the hatch, folks, and let me hear a screech. There we go, folks. So we got 13 brand new honorary Newfoundlanders. Give it up, folks. So, you can keep your shot glasses there for you, but I do need the hats back. But in the gift shop, they have a lovely certificate for you to make it official. So, folks, just like I said, I need the hats back, but you can keep your shot glasses and your certificate. Thank you very much. Big blue beautiful building here. And a little fun fact for you, this boat was actually built in that gift shop.
Wow.
Years ago, no joke, Luke's father and his brother actually built this boat in that gift shop. So if you want to know more about our history and stuff, please feel free to pop into the gift shop and ask the lovely ladies at the desk. They are very good local guides. They'll tell you what to see, what to eat, and where to go. Also, there's lovely souvenirs there in the gift shop, so please feel free to buy something for your mother. Now, in true Newfoundland tradition here, we are going to sing you back into the dock for the next one. Her eyes shone like the diamonds, you'd think she was queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet band. Oh, her eyes, they shone like the diamonds, you'd think she was queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet band. Thank you very much, folks. If you want to hear more, you come back to the next door, or come back again tomorrow. I'll be here if you want to hear more music. Folks, we're going to get our lines and our gangway on here now. So what I get you all to do is just stay put. Don't go running, barging us down the stairs. We got to get our lines and gangway on, or else we can't get off. So simply stay put. We're going to get everything on, and we will let you know when it is safe to get off the boat. So we'll just throw on some music here and get our lines and gangway on.